My mom took my savings, now she needs a loan from me. When my mom called asking for a small favor, I already knew it wasn't going to be small, but I didn't expect her to say the words, "Honey, I need to borrow some money," the same woman who once drained my entire savings account for my own good. I should probably start from the beginning. When I was 19, I got my first job at a local cafe. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. I worked double shifts, saved every paycheck, and kept reminding myself, this is for college. I didn't party, didn't go out much, just worked. After a year, I had saved around $8,000. I was proud. It wasn't a fortune, but it was mine. Then one morning, I logged into my account and saw $000. At first, I thought it was a glitch. I called the bank in panic. They said the money had been withdrawn in person by my mother, apparently, since I was still using a joint account she had opened for me when I was 16. She had full access. When I confronted her, she didn't even look guilty. She just sighed and said, "I needed to pay the bills. Sweetheart, you live here too, we're family." I remember standing there, shaking. "You took my college savings." She shrugged. "You'll make more, you're young." I didn't talk to her for weeks. I picked up extra shifts, eventually moved out, and promised myself I'd never let anyone touch my money again. I rebuilt from scratch, got into a decent college on scholarship, graduated, landed a stable job, and started freelancing on the side. Fast forward 7 years. I was sitting in my apartment, sipping coffee, when my phone buzzed. Mom calling. I hadn't heard from her much since I moved out, except for the occasional birthday text that felt more like a reminder than affection. "Hey, Mom," I said cautiously. She jumped straight in. "Sweetheart, I hate to ask, but I need a little help. The car broke down, and the bank won't give me a loan. Could you lend me $3,000? I'll pay you back, I promise." I almost laughed, déjà vu, but reversed. I took a slow breath. "Sure, Mom, just email me the loan agreement." She paused. "Loan agreement?" "Yeah," I said calmly, "you know, something that says you'll pay me back, interest-free, of course." Her voice turned sharp. "You don't trust your own mother?" I smiled. "You didn't trust me enough to tell me before you emptied my savings, so I guess we're even." She huffed, clearly offended. That was different. I was desperate. I sighed, "And I'm not saying no, Mom, I just want it to be official. You can sign it and send it back. I'll transfer the money the same day." There was a long silence, then she muttered something about ungrateful children and hung up. 2 days later, I got an email from her, but not with the loan agreement. It was a passive-aggressive message about how I'd changed and how she raised me better than this. That was the moment I realized something. She didn't actually want help. She wanted control. She wanted to test if I'd still bend like I used to. I never replied. Months passed. I kept working, traveling, living. One day, I ran into my cousin at a grocery store. He mentioned, casually, that my mom's car was still broken and that she'd been complaining about how her daughter turned rich and selfish. I just smiled and said, "Funny, she taught me how to save." He laughed, not realizing the irony. A few weeks later, my mom texted me again. This time, she didn't ask for money, just said, "I'm proud of you." I didn't know if she meant it or if it was guilt speaking, but it didn't matter. I'd learned to separate love from obligation. So no, I never gave her that loan. But the best part? A year later, I bought the house she used to dream of on my own, and when I told her about it, she said, "That's amazing, sweetheart, maybe I can stay there for a while?" I smiled and replied, "Of course, Mom, as long as you sign the rental agreement."